Good morning. Craig Howard here. Happy to be with you again this morning. I was reading something this morning that talked about a radio broadcaster with the BBC. His name was Terry Wogan. And in an interview one time, he was asked, how many listeners do you have? And he answered back right away, just one. And the truth was, he had something like 9 million listeners or something like that. But he wanted everybody to think, or everybody to believe, that he cared about each one individually. And so he said, I have just one, and that's the person, that's you. Um, that may sound like sort of a ridiculous idea until you think about our prayer life and you think about God and you think about uh, how many people may be praying to God right this moment, how many people may be offering up prayers right this instant, and yet God hears each one individually. He cares about each prayer individually. Excuse me. Um, and he addresses each need as though you were the only one, as though each individual were the only person that was talking to him. Um, it's sort of amazing. Many times I've been talking to God and I've said something like, Lord, I know I'm just one person sitting here in the little town of Petersburg, West Virginia, and I'm only one out of all the people in Petersburg, and this is only one town of all the people in the state of West Virginia, and this is only one state out of the whole country, and this is only one country out of the whole world, and yet, Lord, I am amazed that you care about what I have to say. And yet, that's the way it works. God cares about you, and he knows you individually. How is it possible that he can distinguish me from all the other people who may be talking to him today, who may be speaking to him today, who may be praying today? I don't know. That's why he's God and I'm not. I was amazed when I was in Africa several years ago. We were watching a shepherd down at this. We were in the Sahara Desert, and so there was only one big watering hole in that area, and all of the shepherds in the area brought their herds of sheep to that watering hole. And yet, when it came time to leave, when it came time for that shepherd to take his sheep away from the watering hole, that shepherd would give out a call, and all of the sheep knew his call. And all of his sheep would start following him as he walked away, and he would get so far away, and he would turn back and look, and he could tell whether or not he had all his sheep. He could tell that whether there were any sheep there that were not his, or whether or not he was missing a sheep. He knew his sheep. And I think about God in the same way. God is the great shepherd. And somehow he knows and distinguishes me from all of the other sheep in this world, the millions and billions of sheep that are in this world. And though we might all be praying at the same time, I don't know that that would ever happen, but let's say it did, that we were all praying at the same time, somehow God distinguishes my voice. He distinguishes your voice, and he knows your name, and he cares about what you have to say, just as if you were the only person who was praying at that moment. It's a pretty incredible thought. The Bible says in Luke chapter 2, or excuse me, says in Luke chapter 12, verses 6 and 7, it says, Are not 5 sparrows sold for 2 pennies? And yet not one of them is forgotten by God. Indeed, the very hairs on your head are all numbered. Do not be afraid. You are worth more than any sparrow. God cares about you individually, not just because you're a group that's part of the church. He cares about you as an individual. He hears you as an individual. You're his child. Somehow, a parent can hear their child calling the name mom or dad, even though there may be hundreds of moms or dads around in a certain place. You can hear your child's voice over the den of everybody else, and you know that's your child because you know their voice. God knows your voice. He hears your voice, and he cares about you. Well, Chi-Chi came to be with us today and be part of us. Say hi, Cheech. Anyway, I hope you have a great day. I hope it's a day filled with joy and blessing and happiness, knowing that God knows your voice and he listens to your prayer. God bless. Have a great day.